Hey there everybody, welcome to Twilight Gaming. I am Bong4, and today guys, we are honestly going to be introducing a new type of series. The Tag Vlog. Honestly, when it comes down to the Tag Vlog, Tag, if you do not know, stands for Twilight Azure Gaming. I even have my little outro thing where I say tag out and I smack the living crap out of my phone, which is my recording device currently until I save up enough for an actual real good camera. Anyways guys, the vlog is something I do want to know, and I'll mention this in the rules, does not replace the channel updates. The channel updates for when series get backlogged or things are a major update to the channel, while the tag vlog is more about me as a person and why there's things that will involve the channel and, goals that I'll mention all the rules here in a sec. The goals will affect the channel because you guys get to come up some, Patreon gets to come up some, and I come up with some. And there's prizes and stuff to be won and all that fun stuff. I wanted to have fun with this while also trying to better myself. Not only has COVID had an effect on me, there's also a lot of personal stuff that's happened in my life. And things have been kind of tough. And I decided that I want to better myself and eventually expand my content. And, get outside, but I love card games and I always do that. Video games, I love that. I love cosplay. I want to get out to conventions. Of course, I'm going to wait till I know more people are safe with COVID and, all this other stuff. And yes, I know COVID, is a lesser thing, but someone was in science, I know that a rebound is very likely at some point, that there are new variants constantly popping up. And this isn't to freak anyone out. I'm not saying I'm a high tier scientist or anything. I'm just someone who loves reading scientific journals and knowing patterns and stuff like that. Anyways, that aside, because if you talk to a real scientist, they probably can outsmart me quite easily in those discussions. But now to focus on the tag vlog. So I kind of want to go over the rules, guys. Okay, I know I'm a rules guy. Can't help it. Let's get to it. The tag vlog is a weekly video series, so a new episode will come out every week. I haven't decided an exact day yet, but you will see a day specifically picked later on. A weekly video series answering questions, updates on tag goals, and aiming to better my life by taking better care of myself while completing tag goals. What are tag goals? Tag goals are divided into 3 categories. Okay? First, short-term tag goals. These are 0 to 6 months length goals, so this should be something accomplishable within the next 6 months. There are 5 goals decided by myself. 1 goal is decided by a top like comment on this episode 0, okay? And 1 decided by Patreon. A random member or a random comment will be selected on Patreon. That's 7 total for the short term. All right, guys, mid-term tag goals. These are 6 to 12 month goals, so they should be completed within the 6 to 12 month range. Again, 5 goals decided by myself, 1 decided by the top like comment on this episode 0, and 1 decided by a Patreon, again, random member, 7 total. And of course, long-term tag goals. These are 12 plus month long goals, so these should be a year or longer. We have 5 goals decided by myself, 1 decided by a top like comment, and 1 decided by Patreon, again, random member, for 7 total. I should note here before I continue, I will not be revealing any of the goals here in episode 0. This is just a series announcement video. This is for a chance for you guys to get your top like comment and the Patreon ones in. And episode 1, I will reveal all my goals. Trust me, I have all 15 written out for myself. I just didn't want to reveal all 15 and then start working on them and then have the Patreon and the top like comment start an episode later and have a lag. And, I want them to go out the same time. All right, guys. The top like comment and the Patreon member goals will be replaced with a new one only if they are completed or vetoed by me. Speaking of the vetoes, a veto. Any goal that seems unrealistic, toxic, hateful, or unhealthy will be vetoed, and you will not be allowed to win completed prizes. I have no limit on vetoes. That's not going to change. I mentioned prizes, and that's probably what's making all your eyes sparkle. Prizes. There are completed goals. When a goal by a top like comment or Patreon is completed, depending on the difficulty, short-term, mid-term, or long-term, the person who commented the goal wins a prize. So the person who commented for short-term, $10, mid-term, $20, and long-term, $50. That's some nice change to win. But I decided that wouldn't be the only prizes. tag prizes. Now, these are coming from me. When all 5 goals in any of the terms, so short-term, long-term, mid-term, etc., is selected by me, is completed, a prize will be given out depending on the difficulty. $25 for short-term, $50 for mid-term, and $100 for long-term. Note, all 5 of these goals have to be completed. All right, guys. Winners will be a randomly selected comment from the episode that features the goals being completed. If you have any question, guys, you want answered during a weekly vlog, feel free to comment and mention something like, oh, answer me in the next weekly vlog, or hey, can you answer this in the next video or something? Because I will. This isn't just a update on my goals, how I'm doing. It is normal vlog stuff, but I also want to make sure you guys, if you have questions or concerns or are wondering something or another thing, that you reach out. And as I noted, this will not replace channel updates. Why the channel stuff can pop up, like the goals can be about the channel. They don't have to be about my personal life. Channel updates are more sporadic and will drop when I need to drop them. But Patreon, guys, what does Patreon get? A random Patreon member gets to decide a short, mid, and long-term goal, as well as when the prize is associated with that. And 24 hours early access to this and all the series on the channel, plus other rewards. Now, honestly, guys, when it comes down to it, I wanted to bring some sort of interesting dynamic of taking care of myself, bettering my health, starting a weekly blog, but more than just me talking. I want to make sure you guys have some interaction with, and I'm kind of sucker for this on all my videos, you know, by deciding a goal, giving me a challenge, giving me something that short-term, mid-term, and long-term I could try to complete. You know, I think people who actually are sticking to this channel see something in me or like my content to a point or see something that they can grow. If you know me, I probably talk about my inability to draw, my low level of editing. Those are goals I would like to improve. Yes, actually, I would like to hire an editor because I feel like no matter what, I'm very bad at drawing. I can come up with things in my head creatively, but when it comes to putting it down, drawing it, making it, designing it on a computer, I am just awful at it, guys. Like, I am really awful. So yeah, long-term goal, I would definitely love to hire an editor or someone who can edit these videos and insert all the things I would like to, because when I make these videos, trust me, I have 1,000 ideas of what to do during each episode to make it more fun, more standoutish, more not zany, but more popping, you know. And I can't do that just because of how bad I am with editing. I don't have the money to hire an editor fully, but, you know, goals, guys. And that's what this series is about, is short-term goals, 0 to 6 month goals that are accomplishable, midterms, 6 to 12, that are more long-term, but still not too long frame, and 12 plus goals. These are the massive goals. These are the goals that are long-term reachable. And why I'm giving those time frames, you know, they should be somewhat reasonable to complete then. Like if you say, oh, grow your channel to 1 million subscribers, 0 to 6 months, unless an algorithm blesses me and a video booms and everyone subscribes, that's probably ain't going to happen, guys. You know, that's why I'm saying with them, let's be realistic. But I also want you guys to kind of let me know what goals you have for me as a creator. I know some things are beyond my control, especially with physical product, with the card games, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, you know, stuff like that. Anytime I do a series with somebody else, there's time constraints on, I have to fit in that person's schedule, or, oh, cards didn't ship. With Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh, I've had it multiple times where I order something and they say, oh, it should be there soon. But they're like, okay, well, 2 weeks hasn't shown up. 3 weeks, okay, we'll get your refund. Well, I have a budget, so I'm kind of tight on that budget, so I have to wait for that refund to reprocess and then buy another item. That turns a product that should have been here 2 months in 2 weeks into a 2-month thing, 3-month thing sometimes. It is ridiculous. And, you know, trust me, I am looking for another job, another source of income to be able to add to the amount of content I'm able to make and how well I can put it out and stuff. But honestly, guys, when it comes down to it, I wanted to give prizes back to you guys for completing stuff and rewarding the people who stick with me. And, you know, I also want to know what you have in store for me as a content creator. What do you guys want from me? That's why there's not only just the prizes and the goals, but weekly updates about me talking what's going on in my life. weekly updates on if you have questions, ideas, why don't I do this or that. I can answer them in an actual person, like a personal way, not just typing it on a computer. Because I sometimes feel like when we type stuff on the computer, it can be easy to misunderstand each other. There's some times where, I see a comment and I read it and I'm like, is this guy trying to say this thing or this thing? Like, some comments can be read in multiple ways, and that's why in this instance, I can just answer you guys in a vlog form. I will still reply to most comments. Obviously, if they're asking something or I need something like, let's say the dismantle for Master Redemption is a card that actually can't be dismantled. Yeah, I'll comment that, and I'll try to comment back as much as I can. But if you guys do have something for the weekly vlog, comment it here. I'll try to answer it. These vlogs can be as long or short as we want them. I'll do some talking. Episode 1, the next episode after this one, this is episode 0, the series announcement. Episode 1 will, of course, announce or will show all 15 of my goals. We'll showcase the 3 Patreon goals and the 3 top like comment goals, 6 total there, for all of them to be kind of showcased out so you guys can understand what our goals are for that. Again, my personal goals are stuff like losing weight. I mentioned that in the channel update video. I gained some weight, but I think most people did during the lockdown and with COVID and all that stuff. Other things are trying to improve my mental health, meditation, stuff like that. And some of those are short-term and long-term. There's short-term weight loss goals like, I want to lose this many pounds at this time. Or there's long-term goals like, I want to get down to an ideal weight. So that stuff will be in there too. But yeah, guys, if you have any goals you want me to try to accomplish, short-term, mid-term, long-term, or all 3, comment them down below. Like I said, top like comments of this episode will be decided for them. To be honest, I am thinking about changing that from top like comments to maybe comments I like, and I also can veto them. So for instance, even if the top like comment has one, if it's something really dumb like 0 to 6 months do this and it's not realistic or it's harmful or just be unrealistic for my mental or physical health to do it, it's unhealthy, I would just veto that and choose someone else. So while the top like comment does get first crack at them, I can still veto them and move to someone else. And the vetoing just means you don't have a chance to win the prize if you have another comment that's selected. But I'll go into that because there will be exceptions. Like if I veto one just because it's not toxic or anything, but I think you may have put it in the wrong tier and you didn't mean to. Like, let's say something's more of a 7 or 8 month and you put it to a 0.6 and you're thinking it's a 6 month and it's a month or 2 difference. This is still my series. I can still work around the rules. These rules are more guidelines and generalized, but I can still make exceptions, change rules, etc., etc. But honestly, guys, I've kind of rambled on for a bit. If you have any questions for me, comment them down below. If you have goals that you'd want to see me reach out for short-term, mid-term, and long-term, put those down below because Patreon, and this is for the Patreon members, if you're watching this, comment on Patreon in the video. Comment on the actual post of the Patreon video the goals you would like to see for short, mid, and long. If you haven't joined Patreon already, please check out in the description below. I will not choose a Patreon. I will not select the short, midterm, or long-term goals for Patreon or the top like comment for, I think I want to give a couple days, maybe up to a week, just to not only let a week pass, but to give time for people to comment and to think. So yeah, we'll make it a week's time. When this video goes up, a week from that day, it will go on. Of course, this will go on Patreon 24 hours early because it is a new series and not just a one-time video like a channel update or something exclusively about YouTube. Of course, anything that's exclusive to YouTube that is just an update or something about YouTube in itself, that will not go on Patreon because Patreon, the 24-hour exclusivity, is for the series themselves. But I've rambled on enough. I have talked to you guys enough, and hopefully we have some awesome questions for the next vlog, and we have some awesome goals to look forward to. And until next time, guys, tag out.